Hola, tesoros. Welcome to
¿Quién es la más?
My name is Yi.
And I am Braulio. And like always, before we start, remember to subscribe and rate the podcast. Please tell your friends about the show, as it helps us immensely to get the word out. We appreciate all the support.
Thank you. And today we are recapping La Más Draga Season 5, Episode 9. This was, I think, one of the shortest episodes we've had this season. So it was pretty...
is that a pun? Or is that...
What?
Because we have little people on the show.
Oh. No, but it could be. I mean, yeah, so it was a short episode. And we had a makeover, which is kind of...
I had a makeover.
You did?
A Thanksgiving makeover. Oh, okay. Where you gain 50 pounds in one night.
Well, you know, body positivity. It's all about body positivity. So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was funny that last week we were trying to figure out who's gonna be our top 4. Well, I guess these might still have a top 4, but after this episode, they're all moving on to the semifinals. So I guess they can still, because don't they usually eliminate like a whole bunch of them before the final?
Yeah. I think usually we have 4 or 5 in the semifinal. But
okay, I think so there's 6 of them left, so that means they might eliminate 1.
Exactly. 1 or 2. I can see them eliminating 2.
Yeah, I can see that too. But I want to see. I remember like liking the finale, the what's it called, the semi-finale, because I do remember them eliminating a lot of them, and they all get to do the final challenge. And I was just like, okay, that's cool. Like, you're not like dragging it on. You're just, yeah, you had like some episodes where you didn't eliminate anybody, but they made up for it in the finale, you know, where they kind of narrow it down. So I think I like that. I wish Drag Race would kind of do that instead of just bringing everybody to the end and then just having everybody do the finale. If they could just bring like the 5 finalists to the finale and then eliminate, or not the finale, I guess the semifinals, and then eliminate, 2, and then have that finale at the end. It would make for a more exciting episode, I think, than just, not eliminating anybody. Anyways, yeah, this is gonna be a really brief episode because there was not much to it, and there was pretty much just a challenge. And so yeah, let's get to it. This week the queens are challenged to make over a guest into a Mexican artisan doll while presenting a complimentary look on the main stage. The winner will be named La Más Lele. Greta White is declared La Más of the week, while, surprise, no one is La Menos, which means all 6 queens will be moving on to the semifinals. Okay, so we're introduced to the challenge, and the challenge is to present an inspired look, or actually to present the inspired look and make over what's the correct term? A little person or a dwarf?
I mean, dwarfism is the term for the disorder, but yeah, I think usually little person is the acceptable, which kind of translates to what the guests were talking about in a later scene.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit, I guess. But so they introduced a challenge, and I've never heard of the Muñeca Lele, which I don't know if you have.
I've seen them, but I didn't know they had a name. But of course they had a name.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've seen it too. Like, I've seen the doll, but then, like you said, like, I didn't know it was just like a thing, I think it was just like a doll.
Apparently, I mean, like Johnny explained it, it's specifically from Querétaro, so the city of
Yeah, the
Querétaro,
state of
and
Querétaro.
yeah, so it kind of like, well, I mean, at this point, I'm sure it's branched out everywhere because that's why so many people have seen it, but that's where it originated.
Yes. So it's very artisan, very Mexican rooted. I mean, it just
Mhm.
pretty much looks like they showed a little picture. It looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid,
It
right?
reminds me of not a Cabbage Patch. I would say
Like a
r-
rag doll.
yes, like a Raggedy Ann, like a
What did
Mexican
you just
Raggedy
call
Ann.
me?
Well, if it fits.
Yeah, so it looks like a rag doll. So um I thought it was gonna look better because he was making it out to be like so cute. And honestly, it's kind of not cute
I mean,
to me.
the cute thing is the like the dresses and the
Yeah.
headdresses that they put on them. That's kind of where the flair comes from the doll.
Yeah, but the face is just like it's like one of those characters from Adventure Time, just two dots, and that's it.
Yeah, it's very minimal.
All right, so they have no mini challenge or what are the other ones? The mega retos, nothing.
Mhm.
Which honestly, they could have done that. They could have been, we have a mega reto, and you have to introduce, and they introduce all the guests, whatever. Because that's pretty much what they did last time. So the
But
guests come in one by
but
one, and they, huh?
but if they have a mini or mega reto, then that means there's gonna be something on the line. And I'm sure their whole plan was
Oh
for no
yeah.
one to leave this episode. So then they would be forced to like, oh, okay, so this person got points. So for this episode, I guess they disregarded the points because um
I mean, isn't that every episode?
well, they show it to you supposedly at the end. They're like, oh, okay, this one got this many points, da, 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 just to kind of play it off. But I mean, I don't even think it's necessary. Like, it just seems forceful at this point.
Yeah, it's not like we're all waiting. How many points did she get? How many points? Like,
Mm-mm.
no, we don't really care, honestly. Just pick somebody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the guests come in one by one and they choose the queens just by honestly. So I feel like they were chosen before
Yeah,
because how did they have their sizing and they didn't create the outfits there,
yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, they there was something there was a detail that kind of led me to think the same thing. Or they at least were told um that it would be like a little person that would be getting made over.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just don't see them pulling that off in such so little time.
Yeah, that's what I was. I mean, that was my question this whole episode. But they played it off as like they just chose them. So we got
Mhm.
Cielo is with Greta White, Mari is with Liza Sansusi, Luz is with Hidden, Olivia is with Paper, Daila, which I want to call her Talia, Daila is with Fifi, Digna is with Santa Lucia. And
I love her
so
name, Digna.
Digna,
Hmm.
that means
It's why
worthy, right?
it's what I aspire to be.
Worthy,
Dignified.
dignified, never. So we move on to the um Camerino Knicks, where they're just getting ready pretty much. They don't even
Mhm.
show anybody sewing anything. Their outfits are already made pretty much. This is how the show is. So we just see them kind of talk and get the guests in makeup. And during this scene, we get some of the background some background information of some of the guests. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really write any notes of this. So if you want to talk about something, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, I wrote a little bit about each of the guests, like kind of where they're coming from in terms of like what they do for a day job, I guess, or for some of them it's a night job. um, but Tayla says that she is an imitator, so she imitates Britney, Shakira, Jenny Rivera is who she named. Um, I'm guessing like at nightclubs and stuff. I'm guessing it's for hire, but she didn't specify. And then Cielo Anais is an influencer. Mary is a wrestler. She's known as um, what was her nickname? Mary La Sirenita.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luz is an entertainer. As far as like, I think similar to like Dela, like at nightclubs and stuff. Olivia is an actor, and then Digna is the one that works like an administrative job, like in an office. And I like the little moment that she and Santa Lucia had, where Santa Lucia tries to connect with her because, I mean, it's completely probably like a fish out of water for the Ignite. Like it's not her scene, being in La Más Draga. And yeah, so she kind of tries to connect with her by talking about their differences, and they're kind of on opposite sides of the spectrum, where Digna sometimes like gets uh, looked at weird or discriminated against because of her stature, and then I mean Santa Lucia the same thing because of her stature, but because she is taller. Um, and yeah, so they kind of had a little bonding moment there, and kind of bring Digna out of her shell into the world of La Más Draga.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted more details. They didn't really get into like how they were discriminated against. Like they were said that they were made fun of, but is that discrimination? Is that just being ridiculed?
What's the difference? I think they
Well,
go hand in
discrimination is
hand.
like you're thinking that you're like better or that somebody's less, and you're um putting somebody down in a way where you're like, well, you don't belong here because you're a little person, kind of
Well,
thing.
yeah, I think that automatically, that's what it is, no? Because just by the way a little person gets looked at or stared at or pointed at, or even some of them were talking about comments that people make, or the word using the word enano, um, is just demeaning at that point. Like they're not being treated like everyone else, so they're being put down. Um, and that's when they were having a discussion that it's they prefer the words or the term or the terminology of persona de talla baja, which translates to little person,
Hmm.
instead of all the other terms that people use.
Yeah. One of them had a good story about their father. I think their father is also a dwarf, and kind of. Oh yeah.
Has dwarfism.
Huh?
They're not dwarfs. They have dwarfism, or
Are you sure?
I mean, that's just not the proper way to say it.
Oh, because I remember I was watching. Well, I used to watch. What is that one
Little
reality
people,
show?
little people, big world.
Yes, and I think they were called, they named themselves or they call themselves dwarves, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Anyways, I'll say little person. He's also little person,
Yeah,
and taught her. Well, not even taught. Well, I guess taught her, but like he was like
yeah.
saying, and not he would call her Nana, so she wouldn't be hurt by. those kinds of comments because he already knew that it was going to happen and kind of toughened her up in that way. Which I mean, he knew like what people are going to go for, especially when it's your difference is so obvious. And
Yeah, to the
so,
eye.
huh?
To the eye, yeah, like you can
Yeah,
see it.
yeah. So I mean, I think that was. I mean, it's tough love, but she said it prepared her for real life and for the things that she does now. So she's not really offended by a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all in the way that the parent explains it, because they could be using it as an insult too, but it doesn't sound like that was the intention or the way it was used. It was actually to empower, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like growing up, I didn't even know that was a what is it called, a pejorative.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We just use it to like describe a short person, not even like a little person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, está nanito, nanito. Like we didn't mean it like a bad thing. It was just describing somebody. But maybe over time it just became something that is used against someone. I don't know. All right. So, is that all you wanted to talk about in the workroom?
See.
All right. So let's move on to the challenge. And so they had to make over all the dolls, and here we go. The first one up is Hidden Mistake with her partner. Where's her partner?
Loose.
Oh, Luz. What did you think of this makeover? Which honestly, I want to say that the judges didn't really put emphasis on their makeovers.
They didn't.
They just gave them, right?
Yeah, part of the challenge was supposed to be like a sisterhood thing. Like they had to look similar.
Yeah.
But I think Hidden and Loose did a really good job together. As far as their looks go, I didn't really understand the whole how they were acting, like they were lost, looking side to side, and until I think Yari makes a comment that it's based on Alice in Wonderland, and that's why she had like some sort of food in one hand and then something to drink on the other, because that's kind of how it works in the movie or the story. But yeah, I didn't really see that. I would have liked like some more props to kind of point that out, and there was no like payoff. They were just lost the whole time up there. But their looks were really good.
Yeah, I love their looks. I thought it was very inventive. I didn't get the Alice reference until she said it. I was like, oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And I was confused too because I don't know if it was supposed to be like a Mexican, like, because the doll is Mexican, right? It's a Mexican.
Mhm.
It has like Mexican,
Mhm.
what is you call attire? Very artisan. So I didn't know if they had to make something like that or if it was just like any doll, just make up a doll. So that's what confused me a bit about this look and some of the looks that came down. But I did like the look, and I think she did kind of incorporate some of the elements.
I would say so, yeah.
Of like the hair and some ribbons and all that. So I thought that was really cute. And the makeover she did great because they look alike, and she did 2 different colors. So I think it was a good job. But their presentation was a little weak. So. All right, the next one up is Paper Cut with Olivia. What did you think of this pairing?
Doing the gay Lele doll. Lele doll.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's cute. The paper clearly incorporated like rainbows and kind of representing the LGBT community with the look. I like that it has a lot of details. There's always, anywhere you look at the look. There's always something interesting. I don't know why they were selling stuff to the judges, trying to buy them off so that they could be the winners of the week, which turns out wasn't necessary because no one left. But yeah, I mean, this was a cool look as well. I think this look went a little bit more like it had like an Aztec influence where the headpiece goes. So yeah, I mean, I like the twist that paper gave to it, the doll.
Yeah, this was the other one that I saw clear reference from the doll, and I love that because that's what I thought it was gonna be. You know, I thought that's what they were supposed to do. So that's what I love about it. And then I think it was just a great look overall. The headpiece is very,
Gay.
What is it called? Like very, yeah, it's very gay, very loud, very. It's just a statement piece. It's a statement piece, and I think it's great. Didn't really tell about the makeup. I couldn't really see the makeup, but I think the it looked like a inspired garb, you know, like inspired from a Mexican what do you call it? Like a ceremony, or I don't know. It just had that kind of flair, that kind of style to it. So I like that. And then the makeover, again, it was great. Like it was pretty much the same outfit, just smaller. So I think that, I don't know if that works, or maybe I would have liked like something a little different. But overall, it was great. And then to me, this was the winner. Honestly, like I just thought it was a great look. And to me, like I was looking for that kind of reference, you know, back to the colors of the doll, or some kind of in that aesthetic. And the representation was okay. It was a little clunky. I think they could have been more in sync. But yeah, it was cute. The way, I don't know what he was doing. What is that part of some kind of ritual? I'm not sure, but it was cute. All right, the next group is Santa Lucia with Digna.
My middle name.
I love this look. I thought it was, to me, I missed some of those references that I'm looking for, just personally, because that's what I was looking for. But I thought it was a great look on its own because it was kind of scary and creepy, but very polished from her. I think Santa Lucia sometimes is not as polished, but this look was really polished, and it had like details that I love, like the eyes as buttons. And then the knife that she brought out at the end was cool. I thought the presentation could have been better, just because she had her makeover partner, Olivia, by the hand the whole time. I wish she would have done her own thing, like maybe go on separate ways and then unite later or something. More of a story. I thought it was just like her just kind of walking her down. And I don't know. I could have, you know, some kind of like creepiness, something. I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I got what they were doing because Santa Lucia was kind of like was a doll that came to life, right? And Digna was supposed to have used the Ouija board to bring her to life. So this is what I was missing from like Hidden. So I like that they told a story and throughout. And then at the end, she turned into Chucky or something. tries to murder Digna in the back. Or the judges if they don't give her good points, or a lot of points. I like the way the Santa Lucia was walking, like a dirty diaper, but like a doll. Like kind of wobbly side to side.
You like that walk? You like a dirty diaper walk?
Not like that, but I thought it fit the character. Because, you know, it's a doll that just came to life, so they shouldn't know how to walk, so they're like learning. But I think they could have given Digna a little bit more to do than just walk her. Maybe they could have played into the whole horror of it and kind of like try to run away from her, especially since she had that knife already. But yeah, but it was cool though, and I like the twist, the dark twist to the Lele doll.
We're gonna see Annabelle meets Lele, and they're gonna fight it out, and see who wins. Who wins? All right, so the next group is Greta White, and she is with Cielo. What did you think of this look?
It's very Greta. I honestly thought that this was probably going to be on the bottom.
Me too, yeah.
Just because the silhouette is very simple. And I didn't really like her bratty attitude. Like, she didn't really have a beginning, middle, and end. That's not really what you should be doing on the runway either. It's ambitious, but I did like the connection between Cielo, Anais, and Greta. Literally, like, they were connected with their chongo, with their trenza. I thought that was a cool detail. And so Cielo Anais was kind of like the mom dragging her daughter. And yeah, I mean, I like their interaction. The look was good. It was for Greta, but it's just when you're comparing it to the rest of them, who were way more elevated. But you can definitely see the reference here.
Yeah, I liked it. I usually like more minimal things, so I liked it. But something about it, I feel like it just missed the mark as far as maybe the other people gave us storyline, and this was just kind of like a dress and no storyline, so it just kind of seemed a little weaker. But as far as the look, I do like it. I feel like it was a good look. It's very more fashion on the fashion side than the others.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought like you said, they worked well together. The makeover, her makeover partner looked great. Like, they both look great, and so I thought it was a success. I didn't think it was the winner, but I did like it. I thought it was a strong look. I mean, if there was, like, I wouldn't say it was in the bottom. How do I say this? So I wasn't in the bottom, but if it was, because it wasn't bad, right? Like, it wasn't bad, but I guess just like comparing it to the rest, it's just kind of like, okay.
As far as the ambition goes, yeah.
All right, so the next one up is Liza, and she is paired up with Mari. What did you think of this group?
So the look is, I don't know, like a mix between the Lele doll and Barbie and Marie Antoinette. I just thought it was very messy. too much. Like, it's just, and the color palette. Nah, it's just very girlish, very aniñada, and yeah, I didn't get it. To me, like, if there was a bottom, this would be one of them. I just didn't understand. I see the influence in, like, the ribbons, and I mean, Liza tried to do something other than putting them on her head like the doll does. So I see that, but it's just the rest of it. I think, again, it's just too many ideas in one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the ideas they're good, but they're just not cohesive. She didn't like work them in to like make sense. I think there was a way that she could have maybe played with the silhouette. If it was going to be Marie Antoinette, maybe how do you say that? Marie Antoinette? Antoinette? Okay, anyways. Maria Antonia. Maria Antonia. I thought she could have done like maybe like one of those. I don't know what are those dresses called that they used to wear back then, where the hips are really big, like that kind of silhouette.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have worked better to give us more of that reference of what she was going for. And I agree with the color. The color is not like threw me off. Like the people that went off with another color was like, I feel like they missed a mark because I wanted to see those, those colorful ribbon, the colors that they use in the ribbon of the doll. So this was a pastel, which is so, on the opposite side. And maybe if she would have just worked on the silhouette, it would have worked better. But I agree. Like it's not a bad look. It's just like not well executed. Like it's not well thought out. And then she has that key on her back, which is also like a winding toy, and that's not the Lele doll.
Yeah.
So what the hell are you doing? Yeah, I think it missed the mark. All right, the next one and the last is Fifi Está, and she is with her partner, Tayla. What did you think of Fifi and Tayla?
So I think they clearly had a bottom two with Liza and Fifi. Yeah, I didn't like this one either. I don't see the Lele influence at all. I don't. There's strings, but it's more like cowgirl Barbie, and I just don't get it. I don't understand how she thought this was in any way that this was a good look for this challenge at all. Yeah, I didn't understand this.
It was a good look on its own, but not for the category. Like the category was the Lele doll, we have to get that reference, or else what's the point? This could have been any. This could have been like more Barbie. Not even Barbie. Barbie would now wear chaps, so it's just kind of like its own thing. It was like very neon, chaps, cowgirl, raver, and none of that is what you think of when you think of a Lele doll. Unless they have a new line of Lele dolls, the raver,
the modern one,
the modern slutty. What is it, puta? The puta line of Lele dolls. So yeah, I think she did miss the mark. Like it was very polished. The makeup was great. She looked like a doll, like sort of like a plastic doll with her makeup. And then she did a great job with her partner, but it just missed the mark. Like that's not what the challenge was. There's no sign that she's a doll. Like there's no reference to the doll. At least something that
she's wearing the doll, like a doll head on her, but it's like she just attached that to kind of go with the challenge.
Yeah, I think she just copied. Well, she probably like printed it out and just like, okay, do this. And so yeah, I mean it was like I said, it was a good look, but not for this runway. All right, so that was a challenge. We get the winner is Greta White, which I don't understand. I thought it was a weird win, and it was even weirder, or it wasn't weirder, but it was kind of obvious when not that she was going to win, but the fact that no one was going home, because the judges never wanted to none of them gave a bottom. So they usually give la más, and then they're menos, and then none of them gave a menos, which is stupid because there's always a menos. I mean, if you have a points, somebody has to be menos, right? Like, how are you just going to say, I don't have one? There is somebody's in the menos.
Yeah, so no one loses except us, because we had to watch La Tesorito lip sync to her song.
I love her so much. I don't think they gave her enough time, honestly. Like she didn't do any critiques, nothing.
She just showed up, said Tesorito a couple of times, and walked off. And the episode ended. Didn't have a lip sync, obviously.
She was like, I don't know. Oh, if they would have done her song, well, they would have butchered it probably, but it would have been cool to see La Tesorito react to that. Yeah, I just thought they would. I mean, you have Laura Leon. Like, how could you not give her, like, I don't know, like more speaking? I don't know if they just didn't want her to critique. Maybe she read them to filth, and that's why they didn't show it, because they were all supposed to win, right? But I don't think she would do
Could
that.
be. No.
Anyways, so that was it. This is the semifinal, so that means next week is the no. Next week is
No,
the
the next one.
semifinal, and then
No
we'll
te
do the final
adelantes.
live. Yeah, no. So we'll see what happens. They might throw a twist. I'm expecting a twist. I'm expecting a twist. I don't know what it will be, but I think there's gonna be a twist for sure. So yeah, are you excited to see the finale or the semifinal?
You're wanting to end it already.
Okay, you don't. Okay, you're
Next
not.
week is the final.
Huh?
You're wanting to end it already. You're
I was
like,
asking you,
next
but
week is
you
the
obviously
final.
you're not.
um,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
excited to see people eliminated and finally see who's at the top. Because today they could have completely eliminated some queens. I don't understand why. I guess they knew it was gonna coincide with Thanksgiving, and they're like, let's give them a break.
they don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
At this point, everyone does.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week for the semifinals of La Más Draga. Please let them know where they can find us.
You can follow the podcast on Instagram at Quien es la Más, where you will see the looks of the week. And we have our email address, quieneslamaspodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us any questions that you would like us or not like us to read on the show, or any comments. And please don't forget to rate the podcast wherever it is that you listen to it, because that helps us a lot. Where can they find you, Yiji?
If you want to follow me and keep up with me, you can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. Both are at Yes It's Yee. And if you want to know my opinions or some kind of take that I have on the recent seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race, which that's what I do on the TikTok, you can go on there and check that out. All right. Thank you so much
Drag
again.
him.
And we will see you. Huh?
And drag him.
Oh, yeah.
For his opinions.
Hashtag drag me. All right. Thank you. We'll see you. Bye.
Adios.